HDR, or high dynamic range technology, dramatically improves your monitor's visual quality by expanding colors and increasing brightness. Here are 3 reliable methods to enable HDR on your Sceptre monitor. The first method uses your monitor's built-in menu system. Press the menu button on your Sceptre monitor, then navigate to Picture or Display settings. Look for HDR or HDR mode option and select On or Auto. Finally, choose your preferred HDR format such as HDR10 or HDR400. The second method uses Windows Display settings. Right-click on your desktop and select Display Settings. Choose your Sceptre monitor if you have multiple displays. Scroll down to the HDR section and toggle Use HDR to On. You can also adjust the HDR and SDR brightness balance slider for optimal viewing. The third method involves your graphics card driver settings. The process differs between NVIDIA and AMD graphics cards, so we'll cover both options. For NVIDIA graphics cards, open the NVIDIA control panel, navigate to Change Resolution, select Use NVIDIA Color Settings, and enable HDR under the Output Color Format section. For AMD graphics cards, open AMD Radeon software, access the Display tab, enable the HDR toggle, and adjust the HDR brightness slider to your preference. Make sure your Sceptre monitor supports HDR before attempting to enable it. Compatible models include the C35B200UN1 30-inch curved ultrawide, the E275W FPT 27-inch IPS display, the C248B 144RN 24-inch curved gaming monitor, and the U275W UPT 27-inch 4K monitor with USB-C connectivity. Once HDR is enabled, you can verify it's working by looking for HDR badges in streaming content, noticing improved brightness and color range, and checking that Windows HDR settings show HDR as active. The visual difference should be immediately apparent with more vibrant colors and better contrast. These 3 methods provide reliable ways to enable HDR on your Sceptre monitor. Choose the method that feels most comfortable for you and enjoy the enhanced visual experience that HDR technology provides. HDR, or high dynamic range, transforms your viewing experience by enhancing 4 key visual aspects. Understanding these improvements helps you get the most from your Sceptre monitor. First, HDR expands the color gamut, allowing your monitor to display a much wider range of colors than standard displays. This means more vibrant reds, deeper blues, and richer greens. Second, HDR increases peak brightness, typically reaching 400 to 1000 nits on Sceptre monitors. This allows bright scenes to appear truly brilliant while maintaining detail in darker areas. Third, HDR dramatically improves contrast ratios. While standard displays might have a 100-to-1 contrast ratio, HDR can achieve 1000-to-1 or even 3000-to-1, creating deeper blacks and brighter whites. Sceptre monitors support several HDR standards. Most models include HDR10 as the baseline format, with HDR400 certification on entry-level models and HDR600 on premium displays. When HDR appears washed out or too bright, the most common solution is adjusting your Windows HDR brightness slider. Set it between 50 and 70% for optimal viewing. If applications don't detect HDR, enable full-screen optimizations in Windows. This setting ensures proper HDR communication between your software and monitor. Cable quality is crucial for HDR performance. Use high-speed HDMI 2.1 or DisplayPort 1.4 cables to ensure your monitor receives the full HDR signal without compression or loss. Always verify that your content is actually HDR encoded. Many videos and games appear in standard dynamic range even on HDR monitors. Look for HDR badges or settings in your streaming apps and games. According to Tech Radar testing in August 2025, Sceptre HDR monitors earned a 7.8 out of 10 rating for price to performance, making them an excellent budget choice for casual gaming and streaming. Entry-level HDR 400 provides meaningful enhancement for most users, while premium HDR 600 models offer even better performance. The key is choosing the right HDR standard for your needs and budget.